Hello everyone and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat. It is round 12 of the WSL season and it is going to be a very good start to the game week. One game on this Saturday and that solo match is Aston Villa versus Manchester City. And it's a big game. It's a big game for both sides for many different reasons that we will go through in this pre-match 15 minutes. But yes, a match that I think is very important for both these sides. More for Manchester City than Aston Villa over the last recent weeks, but some very interesting lineup decisions. Obviously, the main thing is that this is Shaun Goater's last game as Aston Villa manager after the announcement of Natalia Arroyo. She is not on the touchline today. So it's Shaun Goater's last game as the Villa manager. He'll want to go out on a high. Villa have been unbeaten under Shaun Goater since he took the interim job off once DePaul was sacked. So for Villa, they've played well under Shaun Goater. There's no reason why they can't get a result today. For Manchester City, it has been a tough week, I think it's fair to say. A mixed results, two Manchester derbies. They won one, they lost the other. And Gareth Taylor comes into this game, his 100th WSL game in charge of Manchester City. And they are looking to get a win, to get back on track in the league. They have now lost back-to-back games in the WSL. And it is very important for their season, for what they want to achieve, that they get back to winning ways today. But it won't be easy. But yeah, as I said, Aston Villa have brought in a new manager, but she's not on the touchline today. A very good manager, which I'm sure will... It's a positive sign for Aston Villa. I think Natalia Arroyo is a good appointment. I think she's a top coach. She's done some really good things over at Real Sociedad. But yeah, not her today. Shaun Goater on the touchline for one last time. And a big moment for him, because I think he'll be proud of the work he's done so far with this Aston Villa side. And especially against a side that he knows so well. He's worked with Gareth Taylor at Manchester City. So Shaun Goater, a good opportunity here to prove, how well he's done over this interim period, and especially against his former side. So it's a bit disappointing. I think a lot of people were expecting to see the new manager today. But as she was only announced on Thursday, I doubt that she would have wanted to be on the touchline today. She's only had 2 days, so Shaun Goater will stick in today, and his Villa side will try and do exactly what they've done. What they've done since he took the job, which is going to be, they're going to be compact. They're going to sit in a very simple 2 rows of 4, and then just when they get the ball, they're going to try and find Daly up front, find Leon up there, and see if they can find the back of the net. They're unbeaten, and you can't argue against that, and you have to give credit to the work that Shaun Goater has done, because you've taken a side that had only scored 1 goal in their first 9 games, and in the 2 games that Shaun Goater has managed in the league, they've scored in each of them. So really good work from Shaun Goater. They probably should have won the Everton game. They did take a point from that though, which is big for them. But yeah, Villa, they will be optimistic based on how Man City have recently played that they can get something from this game. So let's have a look. I mentioned the system there for Aston Villa. Let's have a look at those lineups. We'll start with the home side. It is D'Angelo in net. Has a solid season for Villa and has been ever present in the Aston Villa net. It is at a back 4 of Mailing, Patton, Turner and Maz Pacheco back into the starting 11 for today, which has got a lot of Villa fans very excited by the sounds of things. Across the 4 then, it looks to be Hansen, Nobbs, Beijings and Chastity Grant, and then a front 2 of Adriana Leon and Rachel Daly. 2 players that I think have really have looked much better under Shaun Goater since they've gone to the 4-4-2, since he's simplified it. Rachel Daly has played really well, and we've seen a bit more of her, her box presence. We saw a lovely headed goal against Everton as well. So I think for Villa, it's been positive in the last couple of games, and that front 2 especially, the reintroduction of Adriana Leon into the side has massively helped. So for Villa, they're going to try and sit compact. They're going to try and stop Manchester City getting through. They'll let City have all the ball, but as soon as City try and come forwards, Aston Villa are going to try and shut them down and just keep them out with their own penalty area. Realistically, for the away team then, and there is some big news both in the starting 11 and on the bench for Manchester City. In goal, it is Yamashita returning to the net after Keating started both Manchester derbies. Yamashita back in goal for this one, and Kiara Keating not in the matchday squad. So interesting to see that. A back four then of Uahabi, Nak, Alexandri and Kasperai. It's the only 4 fit defenders they've really got at the minute, bar Gracie Pryor. So it's the back four that we expected to see. It is in a midfield 3 of Yui Hasegawa, Jill Ward and Laura Coombs. Laura Coombs keeping her place from the Subway League Cup quarter-final. She did score in the midweek. She is rewarded with a start, and Jess Park is dropped to the subs bench. And then for the away side, it is a front 3 of Mary Fowler, Vivian Miedemar and Oba Fagino. Same front 3 that we've seen in the last couple of weeks, and that a front 3 that hasn't played terribly, but again needs to provide today. Miedemar looked really sharp last weekend in the Manchester derby. Fowler got 2 assists in that game as well. So they're starting to come together. And for even bigger news, talking about Manchester City, in the attacking department is 2 players back on the bench. Caroline finds herself on the bench as she was in the League Cup game. And Khadija Shaw is back in the matchday squad for Manchester City. That is a huge boost. A player who has been out for the last couple months with an injury, but Khadija Shaw is back on the bench. That is absolutely crucial for Manchester City and their season. And also Naomi Lazell makes the bench again. So a really positive sign for Manchester City. You've got 2 players in Shaw and Lazell who returned to the bench for the first time in the last few months. And you've got new signing Caroline, who was on the bench for the League Cup game, but she didn't get on in the end. That was kind of expected. She'd only been at the club for 24 hours, but she's on the bench today, and I'd very, very much expect to see Caroline get on the pitch in a Manchester City shirt today, which is very interesting. And I talk about those players coming back on the bench, and the reason that is key is because if Aston Villa can keep City out for 60... It took Manchester City 60 minutes to score in the reverse fixture. If you do remember that game, Man City won 2-1, but they had to come from behind to win that game. And the only reason they won that game is because in the last half hour, Lauren Hemp played an absolute blinder. She scored a goal and got an assist and completely turned the game on its head. No Lauren Hemp today, but so City can't rely on that happening again. But I speak about that bench. If it is 0-0 with half an hour to go, suddenly Khadija Shaw comes on, Caroline comes on, and Manchester City look really, really dangerous. And that is something to watch out for. Even if Villa can have a really good first half, have a really good first hour, Man City pack a lot of punch from that bench with Caroline, with Shaw, with Park. Hopefully we'll see Lazell return back onto the pitch as well. It's great to have her on the bench. So for Man City, in what has been a mixed week after losing the Manchester derby in the league, after winning the Manchester derby in the Subway League Cup, they travel to Villa Park today with a couple key players back, with new signings and looking really positive. And they'll be hoping that they can back that up with a victory today. You know, they've lost their last 2 in the league to Everton and Manchester United. That has seen them slip down to 4th place. So it's crucial really today that Manchester City get the 3 points, because another loss and suddenly they could see a gap kind of building between themselves and the top 3, because at the moment Man United look really sharp, and I know Chelsea and Arsenal have got to play each other tomorrow, but City cannot afford to lose today. It is as simple as that for me. Manchester City have to win this game. A, for confidence. B, for the fact they have to start putting points on the board now. You cannot afford to lose 2 games in a row in this league and expect to finish in the top 3. That's how good the other teams at the top have been so far. Man City cannot afford another drop of points, really, especially to a side that they will view as a weaker opposition like Aston Villa. But Villa, you have to give them credit, and they will pack a punch. They've caused a lot of teams issues in the last couple of weeks. Earlier in the season, they went away to Manchester United and got a draw. As I said, in this reverse fixture at the Joey Stadium, Aston Villa took the lead and they led that match for 40 minutes. So do not count Aston Villa out. They're going to make a very, very good game of this. I think there's a lot of players on that pitch who will want to prove themselves to the new manager, because I'm sure she'll be in the stands watching today. And Sean Goater, he's got nothing to lose. I feel for him a little bit, because I think he's done really, really well. He hasn't lost. Yes, he's only played 3 games, but they haven't lost any of them, and that is really crucial. But today is the biggest test that he's faced. For Gareth Taylor, he'll be hoping that he can celebrate his 100th WSL managerial game with a big victory and a a much needed win, I feel, for Manchester City. The way they're going to get it, I think it's going to be difficult because Villa are going to sit low, and as we've seen with Manchester City this season, they have really struggled to break down a low block. But if they can use Miedemar's box presence, they can really start to cause some issues. It looks to be that Fowler will start on the left-hand side and Firmino will start on the right-hand side. For me, that is still incorrect. Fowler should be on that right-hand side. Look at the goal that Miedemar scored against Man United. Fowler was put onto the right-hand side. She managed to win the one-on-one. She crossed the ball in and Miedemar won the header. That is what Man City need to do again today. If Villa are going to sit deep, they've got to find ways to unlock this Aston Villa backline. And I think getting the ball into Vivianne Miedemar is one of them. Get a good delivery. She's the type of player that will bully her way to the ball and get a head on it and put it on target. And that, for me, that is going to be that's going to be Man City's easiest route to finding a goal. I'm intrigued to see that Jess Park is dropped. I know Laura Coombs started in the week, but Jess Park is one of those players that she can unlock defences when you are struggling to find a goal. She can just pick apart a team and score a goal from absolutely nothing. So I'm intrigued to see her dropped, but I guess for Gareth Taylor, you have to reward good performances, and Laura Coombs played really, really well on Wednesday, and hopefully she'll back that up. But City, they've got firepower in the starting 11, and they've got firepower back on the bench, and I think that could be the factor that makes the difference. Jack says should be a great game. Yeah, I really do think it should. It's slightly disappointing that Natalia Arroyo isn't on the touchline today, but I think that she'll be keen to just see what this team's about and work her way in. I think if she had been on the touchline today, it would have been rushed because she had only had 48 hours to work with the team. And Jason says, just you today? Yeah, just me today. Jack isn't here, unfortunately, but that's all right. It's still going to be a good game of football. And as long as I've got you guys to keep me company, all will be well. But the two sides coming out now to a Villa Park that I think has been impressed with the performances in the last couple of weeks. They haven't really turned into superb results, but Villa, I mean, they beat Manchester City back here a couple of years ago. Obviously, this was the last game these two. The last time these two sides played each other at Villa Park was obviously that game on the final day of the season where Aston Villa really pushed Man City. In the end, Man City won. It didn't matter. Chelsea went on to win the league title, but that was a really close game. I'll be intrigued to see whether today is the same. I do think that Villa will once again push City all the way and make the away side really work for the result. Jose Hernandez says, hi, almost 6 a.m. from Mexico. Hope Villa wins today. Well, welcome. That is very, very early, and I rate the dedication to support your team. And hopefully you will be rewarded. Villa, it would be a huge result. And what a way it would be for Sean Goater to end his interim period if he could get a good result against his former side. But yeah, Aston Villa with it looks to be a 4-2-3-1. Whether it looks to be Leon in the 10 and Daly up front, we did have seen Daly in the 10 and Leon up front as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, should probably get into some predictions. If you are just tuning in, make sure to have your say. Have a vote in the polling chat and put your prediction down in the live chat, and I'll make sure to read it out. As for myself, I do think Manchester City will win this game. I just can't look past the strength they have, and even if the game is level or they are losing with time running out, I still think if they bring on Khadija Shaw, if they bring on Caroline, then they're going to find a goal eventually. But yeah, by the way, Jess Park is starting. I don't know what's happened there. Laura Coombs, I'll have a look, but Laura Coombs is definitely what I'm looking at has Laura Coombs starting, but Sky have it as Jess Park starting. So I don't know if anything's happened to Laura Coombs in the warm-up or what's going on there, but Jess Park is in the starting 11. That makes more sense, but yeah, I don't know what's happened there. We'll see when the game kicks off. But yeah, I was halfway through my prediction. Apologies. I am going to go, I think I'll go 2-1 Manchester City. So the same result as the reverse fixture earlier this season. I think City will take the lead through Vivianne and Miedemar, Aston Villa will then level up through Rachel Daly, and then it will be Caroline off the bench on her debut to win the game for Manchester City. That's my prediction. Make sure to get yours in the chat. It's bound to be a good game. Hopefully we will see Caroline get on the pitch and see her see how she copes in a Manchester City shirt. But yeah, so I am still trying to work out whether Laura Coombs is starting in that midfield or whether it is Jess Park. Either way, I think it's a different factor. If Jess Park is on the bench, then obviously her impact from the substitutes bench will be huge. It does look to be Jess Park, so Laura Coombs is on the bench, Jess Park is starting. It will be Manchester City to get this game underway, a game that they really need to win. Can they make it back-to-back wins on the trot? They beat Man United in the week. Now they need to beat Aston Villa, and it is Miedemar to get us underway. And immediately, Villa sat very deep from that kickoff, and City try the kick it long tactic. I never understand it. It hasn't worked, and they've been forced to play the ball backwards. But a big game, I think, for Manchester City, especially defensively. They've been very vulnerable at the back in their last couple of WSL games. They looked a bit more solid on Wednesday night, but today I think they could do with a win and a clean sheet just to steady the ship a bit and to get a really positive result on the board. If they do win today, they go back into second place, albeit momentarily, because United and Arsenal will play tomorrow, but they need 3 points in the league. Villa win themselves the ball back. D'Angelo will fire it long, looking out wide to find Kirsty Hansen out on that left-hand side. Doesn't work though. Managed to force it back though. It's a lovely little pass into Pacheco. Pacheco looks to send Daly down the line, but Daly slips over and the ball does run out of play. But Villa, I think that ball to Rachel Daly is going to be key. Get the ball into her feet and just see whether, if they can get her to hold it up, she can bring players into the game. She's not quite the striker you get in behind, but I think you've just got to try and find her with that ball. Alexandri is a miss-hit pass back to Yamashita, but her goalkeeper will manage to get on the end of it. City with a lot of room, and Knack has received the ball there, and she's just spun, and she's had 15 yards to run into, and it's brought City right up the pitch, because Villa are so deep. Uahabi looks to play the ball through to Viviana Miedemar, but that run had gone too early, and the flag does go up. Decent vision that from Uahabi to see that ball into Miedemar, but the run from the striker was just a little bit too early. We'll have a look to see if it was offside. Yeah, good couple yards. Miedemar's just got to time that better. But sharp from City, they're looking to be on the move, they're looking to be on the front foot, and they're already trying to find ways to get through this Villa backline. The earlier they score, the easier it is, because if they allow Villa to sit deep and to find a rhythm, then they're going to find it really hard to break them down. Here is Maz Pacheco back in the starting 11 for Manchester City today. Was she fouled? Apparently not, and it's been given a Man City free kick because Pacheco picked it up and it wasn't a foul, so handball. And City will resume with a free kick. Alex G, welcome to the stream. And welcome everyone who's joined so far. Yamashita out to Uahabi. Back into Rebecca Knack, who I think has, obviously a new signing this January. A much needed centre-half signing with Alex Greenwood out injured. And I think it's a key one for City. I don't think she's looked too bad. I think she's looked very physical. Sometimes her pace has let her down, I think, against the quicker forwards, but overall has looked pretty comfortable in the WSL. That's a lovely turn from Yuhasa Sagawa, but the pass isn't good enough, and it is cut out by Patton. That is a really miss-hit pass, though, and Miedemar can pounce on it. Miedemar versus Mailing, and it's really good defending from the fullback and sees it out for a Manchester City corner. City already putting the pressure on. Miedemar getting on the ball, getting involved. Yeah, it was a really poor pass back across the pitch from Pacheco. She was looking to find Patton and just overhit it massively. Miedemar managed to pounce on it, and Mailing manages to stop the ball coming in and put it out for a corner. Here is Mary Fowler. We saw Rebecca Knack's danger against Man United. The ball is looking for the centre-half once again, but it's a really good header from it. I couldn't see who was in there. Takes it away from the head of the German centre-half. Park will recycle it, puts it back into the penalty area, but that is well overhit and out for an Aston Villa goal kick. Villa doing well. City putting the pressure on early doors. But yeah, just a little bit early stages, a little bit stoppy from City. There's been a few overhit passes from both sides. I think both teams just trying to warm themselves into the game. The sun is also causing a massive problem at Villa Park today, going down the pitch. So at the moment, it's in the eyes of the Man City players. But that's a terrible error from D'Angelo. Passes it straight to Fowler, who finds Miedemar. Miedemar gets it through her feet, has a shot, and it's just wide. And it did take a nick off Turner in there. But what a let-off of D'Angelo. Ball at her feet. Villa trying to play out, and she just takes way too long. Park puts the pressure on it, so she ends up just passing it straight to the feet of Mary Fowler. Miedemar makes a bit of a mess of it, and it's a crucial touch in there from Turner, which takes it wide for a corner. Massive let-off for the Villa goalkeeper. City take the corner short. Fowler plays a 1-2 with Fagino. Goes back to Fagino. Ball's hung in by the Japanese winger, and just turned goal is by Rord, but easily claimed by D'Angelo. Alex is looking forward to Bunny and Caroline in second half, definitely so. What a threat that is to have off the bench, to have those two to come on. And it's big for Man City to have Bunny Shaw back, to have Caroline on the bench as their new signing, and to have Naomi Lazelle back on the bench as well after her not appearing. That is really good play from Chastity Grant to spin Alexandri. It's a 2-on-1 for Villa. Grant has to square it. No, she doesn't. She scores. And Aston Villa lead. They turn on the style, and once again, City are caught out on the counter-attack. It's brilliant strength from Chastity Grant. Manages to spin Alexandri and fires it past Yamashita. And very similar to the Everton game, City's rest defence is non-existent. Villa punish, and the home side lead. And again, it is the same problem for Manchester City every single week. Villa play through the press superbly. It is a great ball down the line from Mailing. Grant uses her strength. She beats off Alexandri, bursts in on goal. She had Daly ahead of her. Kasperai was too wide about the run of the striker. Grant went for goal herself and fires it into the top right corner. And Villa, once again, it's brilliant. It's another goal. It's 3 goals in 3 games, and Sean Goater has got his side playing brilliant football. Really good goal from Grant, and Aston Villa lead this match. And for Manchester City, you have to ask the same questions every single week. How do they think they can get away with with being way too aggressive? They were punished at Everton. They were absolutely torn apart by Man United, and they've been punished at Aston Villa. And there's got to be questions of Gareth Taylor. He cannot keep thinking that his side can get away with this. And Sean Goater, since this interim job has been absolutely brilliant. And it'll be a shame for Aston Villa to see him go. Obviously, Natalia Arroyo coming in, great coach. I'm sure she'll hopefully do some really lovely, really positive things with this Aston Villa side. But that's to be one of the best interim spells we've ever seen in the WSL. City have got to settle again, but a really good start from Aston Villa. Masak Marat says, oh my God, 1-0. Yeah, really shocking. But again, City, it's the same problems that hurt them every single week. And once again, for the 3rd game in a row, they find themselves going behind in the early stages. It's not good enough. It's not good enough from Man City. Alex says, very bad defending from Alexandri. That was really poor. And if Barcelona are watching, they won't be very happy. Grant does... the ball is brilliant from Mailing down the line. And Grant just rather than focus on bringing the ball down and then turning, she takes the ball in her stride and and kind of uses Alexandri just to pivot. And it worked really well. And fair play to Grant. It was a really good piece of play from a player that I do think is a top player. Villa coming forward again, by the way. Here is Kirsty Hansen down the left-hand side. Really good run. Has a go for goal herself. It's just over. But again, Aston Villa coming forward and causing issues. Really good play from Hansen. Probably should look to pass there. Fires it over. But not a bad effort. Man City all over the place in the first 5-10 minutes. It's too easy from Kasperai to let Hansen cut inside here. Realistically, I think Hansen's got to cut it in. Got to look to cross it in there to Adriana Leon or Rachel Daly. Just fires the shot over. What a start here at Villa Park. And Aston Villa find themselves in the same position that they did at the Joey Stadium earlier this campaign. It was Gabby Nunes that day after 20 minutes that put Villa in the lead. Eventually, City did pull that back, so a long way to go. But Again, it's worrying signs for Man City that they've fallen behind in a game again. Nak looks to play the ball down to the line to Uahabi. It is a good ball, but once again, Mailing with top defending beats the fullback there and manages to turn it out for a throw. City just need... Gareth Taylor needs to have a moment of realisation that they can't afford to be as aggressive as they have been playing. In the last few weeks, because they send both the fullbacks on, and you just can't get away with it anymore. The quality in the WSL means that they will get punished by any team in the league. And that has been proven in the last few weeks. Daisy under the String says, can't believe my bet is on City. I mean, you'd expect City. City would be favourites going into the game, but over the last couple of weeks, the performances have been really poor, and there was every chance that an Aston Villa side who are unbeaten under Sean Goater at the moment were going to cause issues. Here is Jess Park, though, on the edge of the area. Plays it into Jill Rord. Hasegawa looks to find Uahabi. Once again, Mailing will get there and she'll see it out for a goal kick. Alex asks, when do you all expect Gurma announcement? I'd expect it to be at some point over... Either it will be, for me, I think either it will be this Sunday at the Arsenal game, in terms of Chelsea could announce her and she could walk out at half-time and walk onto the pitch in front of a packed-out Stamford Bridge, or it will be early next week. So either it could be tomorrow, coming days really, you'd expect. But I think it would be cool if Chelsea were to announce her tomorrow in front of 40,000 people at Stamford Bridge. That'd be quite a good moment for the club as well. Daly, a bit deeper, pivoting on the ball, looking to find the ball over the top to Grant. Doesn't quite reach her, and it will run through to Yamashita, who finds the ball into Hasegawa. Hasegawa into Rord. Rord to Park. This is better from Manchester City. Coming down the left-hand side is now Mary Fowler. Got the overlap of Uahabi, will wait for it, goes to Uahabi, puts it across the box. How is that not turned in? It's put away for a corner at the back post by Maz Pacheco. And I'm let off a bit there for Aston Villa. Uahabi just slides the ball across the face of goal. No one touches it. There's no one in a blue shirt that is there to poke the ball home. It goes straight across the front of the goal, and Maz Pacheco manages to poke it away at the back post. But Villa, the ball has genuinely just gone straight through the 6-yard box, and nobody's touched it. Not even D'Angelo. Another corner for City. 1-2. Fowler will cross it in with her left foot. Headed away well by Turner. And now Villa look to go. And this time it's Leon throwing forwards, but cut out well by Alexandri. Put out for a Villa throw. Villa on the counter-attack looked really, really sharp. And it could cause City problems. If the home side can remain as solid defensively as they have been in this first 12 minutes... then they're going to score again at this rate. If Man City don't change something, Villa will score again. Because the way they're coming forward on the counter is so dangerous. And they've played out the press beautifully once again, Villa. Looking for the ball into Grant. And it goes down the line to Grant again. Here is Grant down the left-hand side. She's got options. Maz Pacheco inside. Grant goes into Daly. Brings it down well. Lays it into Nobbs. It's not a good pass though. And Fowler picks it off. And now it's City's turn to come forward. Villa have thrown numbers forward. And City look to punish. Rord back to Firgino. Firgino down the right-hand side. Puts the ball in. Miedemar looks to turn. Can she poke it to Fowler? Not quite. Well done. Mailing again. Sarah Mailing has defended superbly in these first 15 minutes or so. Done really well up against Mary Fowler. Again, Fowler looks to put the ball in, but it's blocked by Mailing. Plays it to Patton, who fires it up the pitch. Cut out by Yui Hasegawa. Here is Leila Uahabi. Up against Mailing. Fowler looks for the overlap. Will find it. Mary Fowler to put the ball in for Man City. Hooked away by Turner. And the flag is up anyway. Again, Fowler just goes too early there. And Villa will have the free kick. Alex says, Nak is new in WSL and looks way more solid than Alexandria in my opinion. I think it's... I get what you mean. I think, I think Nak has looked solid. Alexandria's a different defender though. In terms of Nak is very much more of a traditional defender. She's physical, she's tall, she's good in the air, not necessarily good with the ball at her feet. She can play out of the back, but she's not as good as Alexandri. Alexandri is is more of a modern centre half in terms of she's very quick, she's very good on the ball, and she likes to play out. But once again, she's been bullied off by Chastity Grant. Grant versus Knack. Grant manages to cut it back to Hansen, who lays it into Beijing's, who gets dispossessed too easily by Kasparai. But again, Grant, that ball down the line to Grant is causing so many problems. What Grant is doing is Grant is playing in the 10. Sorry, Grant's playing up front. Daly in the 10. And then you've got Hansen on the left and Leon on the... It's very fluid. The front four for Villa is very, very fluid. And what is happening is Grant, she starts on this right-hand side, but she's either going down the channel on the right-hand side or she's making that diagonal run across the pitch to the left-hand side. And it is causing City so many problems. Although here is Jess Park. Park got space to run into. Goes out wide to Fowler. Mary Fowler cuts inside well. Looks to beat Mailing. Does beat Mailing this time. Fowler gets a shot away, but it's blasted over. Really sharp feet, though, from Mary Fowler. It's the first time that she's managed to kind of send Mailing the wrong way and get a shot away, but on her weaker left foot. Doesn't cause any issues for D'Angelo. But Villa are playing this superbly. They're being defensively solid. You've got the back four who barely move. And then you've got the pivot that just sits in front of them. You've got Nobbs, who is superb at just guarding that area in front of the penalty area. Beijing's instead a little bit more offensive in terms of she's the one that's going to progress the ball and get up with the team. And then that front four is just moving around so nicely. It's causing so many problems. Here's Hansen once again. Does she look to find Grant? Not quite. Decides to go back to Beijing's. I think it's Beijing's, by the way. If I am wrong, someone do let me know. Is it because I did think it could be Beijing's. But yeah, if anyone does know the actual pronunciation, do let me know. D'Angelo across to Patton. Patton, by the way, who has started every single game for Aston Villa since October 2023. Absolutely incredible. A brilliant run. A testament to her fitness and her character. The fact she hasn't missed a game in that time is incredible. It is worrying because you do think eventually it's going to catch up to her. The fact that she's played every single game for the best part of a year and a bit. But really good consistency. And she's played well, to be fair to her. She's played really, really well. Knack has time to bring the ball in here. Miedemar holds it up, plays it nicely into Park. Park spreads the play out to Uahabi. Looks to get the ball in, does deliver it, and again headed out at the back post by Mas Pacheco and out for a Manchester City corner. Corners are racking up for Man City, but they're not doing anything from them. The problem for Villa is that City do have threats from corners. If they keep giving them away, you feel like Man City will eventually score from one. Yeah. So will we Mary Fowler out onto that right-hand side to take the corner. Looks to be an in-swinger on her left foot. Knack around the penalty spot. You've got Miedemar in the 6-yard box. Plenty of threat for Manchester City from this set piece. Fowler will put the ball in. It's not a bad ball. It's looking towards Miedemar, but well punched away by D'Angelo. And a goal kick has been given. Not quite sure how Melissa Bergin's come to that conclusion. Miedemar and D'Angelo challenge for it, and D'Angelo looks to punch it away. Maybe not, to be fair. It looks like she punches it into Miedemar's head and it goes off Miedemar's head and out for a goal kick. So, yeah, fair enough. That looked to be the right call. The budgie, welcome to the stream. And Alex says, will Uahabi also leave when Alexandri doesn't extend? I'll be intrigued, potentially. The problem is that Alexandri obviously has that Barcelona. That move seems to be pretty much nailed on. For Uahabi, if she does obviously want to leave, then she's going to have to find a club to go with. Because to be honest, I don't think Uahabi gets into that Barcelona side. So Uahabi would have to move and find a club in Spain really if she wanted to. But or anywhere, I just think anywhere she'd struggle to find. Obviously, there's teams that would take her, but it's what she wants. I'll be intrigued. It's an interesting question. I don't know is the answer. I think that she would probably prefer to leave, but It depends what move she can find. Fowler into Uahavi. Once again, Mailing, superb defending, wins the ball off the left back, and Villa have possession once again. Mailing has been incredible, has done so well at just shutting down that Man City left-hand side, and Fowler and Uahavi haven't managed to impact the game. Here's Daly. Daly finds Hansen. Pacheco goes back inside to Nobbs. Nobbs back to Daly. Here's Turner. And Turner will go back to her goalkeeper, and Villa actually enjoying some possession of their own. D'Angelo taking her time on the ball. No one's pressing her, so she's just going to stand on the ball as long as she can. Does go to Turner, who will fire the ball up the line. Chested inside by Pacheco. Hansen plays it through to Grant. Comes back inside to Beijing's. Beijing's goes back to Mailing. Ball with Nobbs now. Villa can find themselves camped in City's half here. Daly, Hansen, out to Pacheco. Back to Daly. Brilliant football from Villa. Cuts it back looking for Hansen. Big tackle from Alexandri, but Daly's got it back. Firmino wins it off her though. And Man City do get back on the ball. Firmino looks to find Park. Really good defending though from Nobbs. Wins it hard at the pitch. Nobbs into Daly. Daly loses it to Hasegawa. And City can breathe a sigh of relief as they look to play out themselves. They're boxing here a bit though, because Villa are pretty high. But Villa will drop off and City will go back to Yamashita in net. Really good 20 minutes from Aston Villa. They deserve this lead. They've defended really well, and when they've come forward, they've looked dangerous. Here is Knack. I mean, she's still on the ball because she's got nowhere to play it. Her furthest option is like 10 yards away. Yeah, 2 shots to Villa, 3 shots to Man City, 1 shot each. Well, that is a lovely ball, though, through to Viviana Miedema. Miedema looks to send Mailing. Really good defending. Goes to Jill Roord, who's just put it past the post. Huge miss from Jill Roord. And it's been a pretty even game with neither side having too many chances, but that is the best chance of the lot. It's a great ball from Fowler to play it in behind to Miedema. Miedema stands up Mailing, lays it back to Jill Roord, who has somehow fired that past the post. How has she not found the bottom corner? Really good football from City. Sharp from Miedema. D'Angelo was wrong-footed. And that should have found the bottom corner from Jill Roord. Let off for Man City. Huge chance for Roord. Squandered. And Villa breathe a sigh of relief. That's the first real let-off for Villa. And they're back on the ball now. Beijing have played a blind pass and has given it away to Viviana Miedema. Miedema charging in on a goal. That's a big tackle from Patton in there. Huge tackle to block Miedema's effort. Out for a Manchester City corner. Villa are just starting to be a little bit sloppy. It's Gilles Beijing who just plays a blind pass backwards. Ends up gifting it to Miedema. But really good defending from Patton to block the shot from the Dutch striker and put it out for a Manchester City corner. Fowler puts the ball into the box. It's once again on the goalkeeper. D'Angelo does well to clear it. Alexandri towards goal, blocked by Mailing. Recycled by Jess Park. Park up against Turner. Park running into the penalty area. Gets Turner backtracking. Can she find a player to pass to? Uahabi has a go, and that is caught easily by Sabrine D'Angelo. And once again, a passage of play ends with Villa just seeing it out and holding on. Halfway through the first half here, Villa still have the lead. Really good stuff from Aston Villa. And they're being brave. They are trying to, when they can, they're trying to play out. And it's really working. That's another good ball to Grant, who looks to hold it up, but Cashbride does well to pounce on it. Alex says, Wolfsburg announced that Brandon Firms will leave in the summer. Do you know a club in WSL, for example, which needs Merla as a goalkeeper? That's a very good question, because the problem is that obviously Chelsea are sorted with obviously they've got Hannah Hampton and Musovic at the moment. City have got Yamashita and Keating. Arsenal have got Van Domselaar. United have got Tallis Joyce. So for Firms, they're your big four. They're your Champions League side. And obviously, while there are other clubs in WSL who do need a goalkeeper, I just don't see if it wouldn't be to the big four. I don't see Firms joining the WSL. I don't think she'd leave Wolfsburg and you know, I know obviously she hasn't really got a choice, but I don't think she'd leave Wolfsburg and to join a side that are mid-table, lower WSL is a problem. Eula Brand, however, I think could get a move to either any of the top four. I think they'd all take her. Top player. Very interested to see where she will end up. But yeah, I think for firms, I don't think any of the top four in the WSL would take her, and I don't see where the reason is for her to join a club who are lower down in the league. But two good players. We are watching back here a potential handball. That is not handball. It was from the corner. Alexandri fired a shot at Mailing. Mailing threw herself at it, and she goes in like that, but it definitely hits her. It definitely hits her in the side. It's definitely not a penalty. Don't really know why we were shown that replay. It's nowhere near being a handball. But yeah. Jack says half the WSL could use Mela Friends, mainly Liverpool if they can't trust Law stay fit. Yeah, exactly. Half of them would take her. I just don't think that would she join Liverpool. For me, she has the ability. I guess it depends where else she could get, but yeah, I mean, she'd be great at Liverpool, but I think she'd look to stay in the Champions League. Would be the thing. And yeah, as I say, I mean, it depends. If Liverpool are ambitious, they could give it a try. They're probably the most likely team to get her, especially because Tottenham did just sign Lisa Kopp. But yeah, I don't see. She might, but I think she'll want to stay in Europe and stay in European, a club who are in European football. Silly free kick given away here by Maz Pacheco. Just caught Kasperai, who was running backwards. She wasn't going anywhere. Unnecessary foul. But yeah, an opportunity here for City to get the ball into the penalty area and once again put this Aston Villa defence under some pressure. They've dealt with it well so far, Villa, but still a long way to go. And I think, this will be very, very positive signs for Natalia Arroyo. Who are we watching on? Very intrigued to see how her new team are getting on today. And, what a start. Ball in from Fowler. It's not a bad delivery. It's in the danger area. It's held well by Sabrina D'Angelo. Really good stuff. Manages to beat Miedemar to the ball. Looks to play quickly. No one else fancies it. And will be forced to play it short. She looked, I think, from the ball over the top to Grant, but decided against it. That is fired into Lyon, but it's wayward. Daly comes in with a road tackle. Luckily for her, it falls to Gilles Bijings, who does really well, still holding on to it. Manages to go back to Turner. Oh, that is a really poor pass from Turner. Gifts it to Miedemar, and it's 1-1. That is an absolute gift, but Miedemar takes it. It's a really good finish. City are level, but it's absolutely handed to them. Turner plays a pass across her own back line. It's overhit, and she picks out Miedemar, and Miedemar slots it past D'Angelo. An absolute gift for Manchester City. A game where they haven't played very well in, but they are level. Beijing goes back to her centre half, and it is blind. It is such a blind pass. It's not got enough on it. It's basics of football, and it will be so frustrating for Aston Villa. It is the basics. You never pass the ball across your own penalty area. Never. Really costly for Villa. And it goes under D'Angelo's hand for good measure. A really preventable goal, but Man City won't care. Miedemar has goals in back-to-back games in the WSL. And they are level here. And frustration. And Sean Gota and his assistant, there's a bit of a discussion going on because they must be furious. They've played really well here. They've competed superbly with Manchester City. And they've gone and just handed them an opportunity to get back in the game. Emily, welcome to Strings. How are you? I'm great. Yourself? I'd be so happy with that transfer. She's exactly the sort of profile player we need to help get us to the level how I prefer Chiara Keating. Keating would be another really good one for Liverpool. I do think that Laws and between Laws and Micah, they really haven't been good enough this season. But yeah, I think a top goalkeeper would be really crucial for Liverpool. Here's Park again, finds Miedemar. City look to have their tails up a little bit. Villa have just got a hold on. They'll be really frustrated to concede in that such a really poor manner. Absolutely gifting opportunities to Man City. It's a good finish from Miedemar, but it's such a preventable goal. You should never play a pass across your own penalty area, and then D'Angelo should probably save it. Here comes City again. Fabinho and Miedemar, though, get mixed up and they lose the ball. And Villa look to turn it on City quickly. Ball through the lines to Grant once again. She's got it caught behind her. Will she still recover it? No. Good defending from Fowler. Sloppy touch, let Grant down there. Villa on the counter. Lost all the momentum and now City have the ball back. Alex says, my dream for Wolfsburg is to get Leipzig back to Bundesliga. That would be good. Obviously, she has played every single game for Leicester, but I believe Leicester have signed a goalkeeper recently to replace Lisa Kopp as their backup. I can't remember the name, unfortunately, but I think I did see somewhere that they did sign it from FC Twente, I want to say. I think they signed a goalkeeper from Twente to come in and be that backup and add competition to Leipzig. But I think obviously it's definitely a move that I think Leipzig would take. Champions League football, back to Germany, especially if Leicester do end up somehow getting relegated. Here is Kasperite. Goes back to Yamashita. Half an hour gone. Still all level at Villa Park. Overall, I think it's a fair result. Yes, City were gifted the opportunity to get back level in this game, but that they had been coming forwards. They had been pushing. So overall, a really good contest. City will hope to level up before the end of the half. Miedemar pokes it out to the on-rushing Kasperaj. Kasperaj up against Hansen. Goes back to Jill Rord. Rord back to Rebecca Knack. Knack is good. Find herself kind of coming forwards very far here. Here's Jess Park. Miedemar looks to play a 1-2. Too tidy though, and a big tackle from Mailing to get it clear for Villa. And even if this game is level, we've spoke about the firepower that is on that City bench. Khadija Shaw back on the bench from injury. Caroline on the bench. Hopefully, we'll see her get her Man City debut today. Miedemar looks to find Fabinho. Does find the winger. Fabinho does want to get a shot away. Really good save from D'Angelo. And hooked away by Turner. And Villa survive once again. Great ball out wide to Miedemar. Fabinho does well to send Pacheco the wrong way and then gets a shot away, but it's a good save by D'Angelo. Daly, she brought Fabinho down there. Referee says yes. Daly says no. But it will be a Manchester City free kick. Alex says, Keating's situation looks weird. Taylor must decide at some point he'll be number one. I do think it is a bizarre scenario. Obviously, we saw her. She played the Manchester Derby in the OSL and had a real poor performance. She then played the Manchester Derby in the League Cup on Wednesday. And then today, she's not in the squad. So I don't know what to make of that situation. She started back-to-back games, started both Manchester Derbies, and then today, Yamashita's in goal and Keating's not in the matchday squad. It's, as you say, it's bizarre, and I think Gareth Taylor, he's going to have to make a decision at some point. He can't just keep rotating the two. Hasegawa back to Knack. Fowler across to Knack. The problem is, I think what he's trying to do is, in the games where they're going to have loads of the ball and dominate, he's trying to play Yamashita. In the big games where they need a guaranteed shot stoppage, he's trying to play Keating. But as what's been proven this season is that, now I know Yamashita didn't play Arsenal or Chelsea, but the problem that Gareth Taylor created is that when he brings Keating in, Keating isn't match sharp because she hasn't played enough. Like that Manchester derby, because she hadn't started the last game, because the starts have been so inconsistent, she came in and was really, really poor. And that cost City in that game. That's why, for me, you cannot rotate goalkeepers. You have to pick a number one because you get no level of consistency if you keep rotating the two. Uahabi goes back to Fowler. Here's Miedema, looks inside, has a go. What a strike from Miedema. And Villa are leading. City are leading. That is an absolute beauty, and it's muted celebrations because I think it's more relief for City. That is an absolutely beautiful effort from Viviana Miedema. City just knocking the ball out just across the pitch really slowly, gives it to Miedema, who just goes, you know what, I'm going to shoot. And she curls it into the top corner from the edge of the area. You know, Fowler's they're just knocking the ball around lazily. Miedema gets the ball, quick turn, fires it into the top corner. It is an absolutely beautiful effort. And City, similar to what they did in the reverse fixture earlier this season, have come from behind against Aston Villa and now take the lead. But this time they've done it all inside 35 minutes. It's a really good strike from Miedema. A beautiful, beautiful effort. It's too easy from Villa. She's allowed to turn, a good 20, 25 yards out and just curls it into the top right corner. No chance of D'Angelo saving that. And Viviana Miedema has single-handedly turned this game on its head. Her first goal, she pounced on a really poor pass and slotted it past D'Angelo. And this time she picks the ball up, has a turn and just curls it into the top right corner. And again, it's 3 goals in 2 games. And with Kadir Shaw coming back, you feel for Miedema because she's played superbly leading that line. And it's another really, really good effort. Neo TNT onto the string says, if Man City doesn't win any silverware this year, do you think they'll replace Taylor? I think they have to. To be completely honest, especially if they don't get the top 3. If Man City finish outside the top 3 and don't win a trophy, I think he'll be very lucky to keep his job. Because I don't think he can get, with the squad he's got, you can't get away with that. If they don't win a trophy, they have to finish top 3, but even that might not be enough. I think you're right. I think they have to win silverware this year, Man City. They really do. Fraser says, pretty sure Keating went off injured midweek. That makes a lot more sense. That would be a very valid reason and make a lot more sense rather than Gareth Taylor just picking and choosing who he wants. I'm not sure what's been given here. Daly's on the floor. Both sides then just kept kicking it to each other. I don't know if it's given a free kick or whether the game has just been stopped. It says Worldy from Viv. Yeah, really, really good. Really, really good effort. The football fan says one more to the hat-trick for Viv. Yeah, another really, really good performance from Miedema. She looked, she's probably one of the only City players that did look sharp against Man United last weekend. And she's coming to this game and is carrying that form. Another 2 goals. And she's proving why she is one of the best strikers to ever play in this league. Because when you play her up front, she scores goals. And today, she is the only reason why Man City are leading in this match. 2 really good efforts. The second one, an absolute beauty. And City are winning this game. I was one says City only need 2 solid defenders and a new coach. I think they've got. I think they've got solid defenders. I think Alexandria is probably going to leave, but for now she's a very good player. Obviously, Greenwood when she's fit is good. I think that Kasper and Uahabi, it's not that they're bad defenders. It's that because Gareth Taylor is telling them to be so attacking that they look like they're constantly just out of position. But it's because they both go forwards and leave no backline, and especially when Lazell returns and you add Shimizu into that rotation, City will look more solid. I'd expect I think if Lazell comes back in for Kasper, then that should make City look a little bit more solid. But that would be interesting to see. And as Alex says, when Taylor ends up 4th without UWCL, they must sack him. Yeah, completely agree. If they finish outside the top 3, that would be really poor. If they do that and don't win a trophy, then they have to go. The football fan says, is it true Chloe Kay's moving to United? It's been rumoured, and I think it could potentially happen. it makes sense for both parties. It would bolster Man United's ranks, and for Kelly, she would get to play football, which is what she is paid to do and what she wants to do, as rather than just sit on the bench and watch other people play football for the whole season. Very, very good player, Chloe Kelly. I think Man United would be very happy to pick. It would be a loan deal until the end of the season, and then obviously her contract would run up, would run out. But yeah, I think that for United and for Kelly, it makes sense, and it would be a really, really good deal. Here is Casbrai bursting into the Villa box. Good defending from Hansen, forces her backwards. Here's Fowler. Fowler puts the ball in, finds Rord, and it's wide. How is that wide? Rord unmarked in the 6-yard box, and she's flicked the header wide. And once again, somehow asking how Jill Rord hasn't scored in this game. I don't know how it's not gone in. I genuinely don't know how she scored. The ball is swung in by Fowler. Jill Rord is stood on the edge of the 6-yard box, unmarked, and she heads it wide. She's looking for the far corner, and she's just flicked it wide. I don't know how Jill Rord hasn't scored in this game. She's had 2 clear-cut chances and missed them both. Neo says, I believe Keating is in concussion protocol. That would make sense, which also means that that it's impossible for her to feature in this game. And that just seems likely with Chloe. Yeah, I'd expect Kelly to go. It makes a lot of sense for her. She just wants to play football and play at a club where she is going to start, and she can get back on the pitch and show us how good she is. Here is Patton. Last 15 minutes have been all Man City. Obviously, the 2 goals coming in those last 15 minutes. Villa, they're just not. It very much feels like now Villa, that front 3 are getting very isolated. They're not touching the ball. They're struggling to find the ball. It's getting cut out every time they try and play it to one of them. Yamashita goes to Nak. Nak with a chance to bring the ball forward. Oh, that's really poor. She brings it up the pitch 15 yards because no one gets near her. Someone puts the pressure on and she goes to pass it out to Uahabi and it is completely misplaced and it goes out for a throw. And Villa now have possession of their own. Yeah, 4 minutes until half time then. Aston Villa will be looking to just get in, if anything, getting at half time 2-1 down. If they could get an equaliser, that would obviously be huge for them, but they'll be looking to just keep it as it is, keep themselves in the game in these final few minutes before the end of the first half. But positives again from Villa. They are unbeaten under Sean Goater. This has been their biggest challenge yet, but they've put up a really good fight. That is a ball looking for Chastity Grant, but it's cut out by Uahabi. And again, as I said, Villa just struggling to get that ball into the front 3. Here is Nak. Again, managing to bring the ball forward, just carrying it up. Manages to find Park this time. Uahabi, pass intercepted by Mailing. Did that ball run out? Yes, it did. That would be a Manchester City throw. The football fan says, if you got to choose one women's football player to go to Manchester City, who would it be? Oh, that's a difficult question because City have done really well this window to replace what they needed. They needed a centre half. They did that. They needed a backup defensive midfielder. They did that. They needed to bolster their attacking options because, I would say Eula Brand, but they've gone and got Caroline this window, so I don't see the necessity for it. I think that's a tough question because this January they've done really well to go out and get what they need. But yeah, I'm trying to think now. Of what position they do need, I think they need to sort out their goalkeeper situation as well, which it depends what Taylor wants to do in goal. But overall, I think on their day when everyone's fit, they're quite covered. But yeah, Alex says City need a good defensive midfielder besides Hasagawa, so I'd choose Walsh or Gallardo. As much as good as that, the problem is neither of those 2 players are going to play rotation. Which is why they went and got I can't remember the name of the backup defender, but they have gone and got a defensive midfielder. The problem is Walsh isn't going to rotate with Hasegawa, and neither is Gayaro. They're going to both want to start. Kira Walsh would only join if she was guaranteed to start every single game. And I don't think Hasegawa, they could potentially, I think they'd struggle to coexist, would be my problem. Especially because, obviously they could, but that would make City very defensive in midfield. And I don't think it would make sense. But yeah. City are just happy to sit on the ball. I think they're just happy to be leading in this game. What was a really difficult start to the game, they have slowly evened it out and eventually taken the lead themselves. And many thanks to Viviana Miedema for 2 really well taken goals. Nak back to Yamashita, and I think it's important City win this weekend. You'd expect. Obviously United have got Brighton, so there's a chance United drop points there. Chelsea play Arsenal. Brilliant. That's going to be a cracking game tomorrow at Stamford Bridge. One of them or both of them are going to drop points. So for City, a really important game to win today, I feel. Here is Adriana Leon. Skips past 1, skips past 2, brought down by Miedema. There are 3 additional minutes. Can Villa have a good spell towards the end of the half and level this game back up? They're certainly not out of it. They've done well to hang in there. And to be fair to them, the 2 goals, it wasn't like they were picked apart. It's not like City played through them. The first one, Turner passed it to Miedema across her own box, and Miedema, just slotted it past D'Angelo. And then the second one was an absolute worldie from Miedema again. So, credit to Aston Villa because they defended really well. It's just been an incredibly poor error from Turner, and then a wonder strike from Miedema. There's not much they could have done about either. Free kick though, in a decent position. Ball put in by Mailing, flicked away, but only as far as Turner from Miedema. Miedema then eventually manages to hack it clear again. Mailing looks to put the ball in, and that will run out for a goal kick. Not a good ball that from Mailing, and City will see off the pressure. The football fans, if you had to sell one City player, who would it be? Oh, who would they? I think obviously Kelly, for me, will go and should go. It looks like Alexandria will go at the end of the season. In terms, I don't think there's any. I don't think there's anyone that I think I look at and go they need to leave. But in terms of because I wouldn't say sell Chloe Kelly, but if they're not going to play her, then sell her. I think that with the goal, you can't keep rotating Yamashita and Keating. You have to pick one of them, and whether that means you sell the other, I don't know. Whether you can tell the other one that they're going to be bench goalkeeper and they might be happy with that. But yeah, I would want to hope Viv gets the hat trick. I would be surprised if she didn't, to be honest. She's in brilliant form and she's definitely going to get opportunities in the second half, you feel. So yeah, I would expect to see a Miedema hat trick in this match. Neo says City need to match Shaw and go. Man City was much better with him, assistant coach. Yeah, and I think that's what he has done very well at Aston Villa. I'd be surprised if he was to go, but obviously it depends what Natalia Arroyo does when she comes in. It depends whether she wants to keep Sean Goater around or whether she's going to get rid of him. But that is half time, and Aston Villa do trail here to Manchester City. 45 minutes where the home side did take the lead. A lovely solo goal from Chastity Grant, who thundered it past Yamashita in the opening minutes. But slowly but surely, City work their way back into the game, and a Viviana Miedema double means they do lead here after 45 minutes. A big second half coming up. But for now, we have to unpack and talk about what has happened in that first half. a very entertaining half of football where Villa started hard and fast, found the back of the net early doors, made it difficult for City, and to be fair to Villa, have defended well throughout the whole first half, but moments of magic and madness have meant that Manchester City do lead in this game. The football fan says, is Shaw coming back in the second half? Khadija Shaw is back on the bench for Manchester City, so yes, we would expect that at some point in this match, Khadija Shaw will be subbed on and will return to the pitch for the first time in 2 or 3 months, which is absolutely huge. Naomi Lazell is also back on the bench for Manchester City, so there's a good chance that we will see her again. Lazell hasn't played since Manchester City beat Barcelona at home. And that was, I want to say that was October. So great for Lazell to be back on the bench. Whether we'll see her today or not, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, as Alex says, expect minutes for Shaw and Caroline in the second half. Very much so. I think a lot of City fans will be very excited about both those players. Khadija Shaw being back from injury and Caroline getting her first minutes in a Manchester City shirt. But yeah, a half that started really poorly for City, and once again it was the same problems that they've had all season, and in especially the last couple of game weeks, where they are just way too aggressive with the ball, way too aggressive. They send Uahabi and Kashbray on, they leave Nak, Alexandri and Hasagawa sat back, and what happened for the Villa goal is that Mailing played the ball down the line into Grant. Grant manages to spin Alexandri. Now, as I said, because there's only those 3 players back, once Grant spins Alexandri, suddenly it's Grant has just got space to run into because she's managed to spin past the last line of defence. She charges down on goal and fires it past Yamashita, and it was a really good strike and a really good move from Aston Villa and especially Chastity Grant. The way that she muscled Alexandri away, managed to spin her and ended up smashing the ball past the Manchester City goalkeeper, and a really good goal and a deserved goal for Villa, who under Sean Gota have played really well in the last couple of weeks. They look to be finding their goal scoring form once again, and you have to give them credit because they've turned up today, they've been bold, they've been positive, and they've tried to take the game to Man City, and that did work. That worked for a good half an hour until Turner, who trying to play out the back, plays a pass across her own penalty area, and it's criminal. You can't afford to play it across your penalty area at any level, especially not the top level. And Turner, she plays it across her own penalty area. Miedemar pounces on it and fires it past D'Angelo, who was caught out, obviously. But a really poor decision from Turner, and Villa were well punished for it. And that allowed City to get in the game. Once they went level, you felt that a second goal would follow. And once again, it was an individual moment of quality this time from Miedemar, who just, City was slowly knocking the ball around, and Miedemar just picks it up and from 20, 25 yards, just curls it into the top right corner. Absolutely beautiful effort. No goalkeeper in the world would have saved it. So credit to Miedemar, because her double completely flipped the game on its head, and Man City lead in this match when I do think without those 2 incredible strikes, they could still be losing this match. The football fan says, do you think City will win against Arsenal in the semi-finals? Presumably talking about the Subway League Cup. That is going to be a really good game. And as Alex says, 50-50 Arsenal on fire with Slagers. I agree. You can't call it, to be completely honest. I think tomorrow we'll learn a lot about Arsenal. If they manage to get a result from Chelsea, whether it's a win or a draw, then they're a team to be worried about, especially if you're a Man City or a Man United. Because travelling to Stamford Bridge tomorrow, if Arsenal get a result, that will be a really positive moment for not only Arsenal, but for the rest of the league, really. It's showing that someone can take the game to Chelsea and stop Chelsea. But that will be very interesting. Similarly with Arsenal and City, too close to call. On form, you have to say Arsenal. And the way City have played in the last couple of weeks, you'd think that Arsenal would win that game. But it would be close. It would be close. But yeah, obviously, Arsenal play Manchester City in that semi-final. Chelsea play West Ham. A really nice run to the final for Chelsea. Playing Durham and then playing West Ham is a really nice run. And obviously the winner of those two games will play each other at Pride Park in 48 days' time. That'll be a good game. Whoever gets there, because really it's probably going to be Chelsea versus one of Arsenal City, so that'll be a really good game. And we talk, and it's good you mentioned that actually, because we spoke about earlier during the first half there about how City do need to win silverware there, and it's gonna be difficult for them because it's not like obviously I know it's a different competition, but if you think to the FA Cup last year, it was one of those where in the final four, you had Chelsea and United, we had Tottenham and Leicester as well. That was quite that. If City had been in that mix, that'd have been quite favourable. But they're going to have to work hard if they want to win the Subway Cup, because they're going to have to beat Arsenal, and then realistically they're going to have to beat Chelsea. And right now, I don't see that happening for Man City. Unless they can up their performances, I don't see a way they beat the top sides. Ard1 says, when will Ayama get minutes? You need a break. Yes, you would expect to see her rotate in soon, very soon, especially with City still in all four competitions. Also, we saw Laura Coombs play the defensive midfield spot against Ipswich in the FA Cup. You'd expect Ayama, though, to come in and play those. The problem is for City, the reason that they can't play players like Ayama, they can't afford to rest, is because today, for example, if this was a Chelsea or an Arsenal or a Man United, they might have looked at this game and gone, we can rotate today. But the way City are playing, they couldn't have afforded to rotate today because they would have lost. It's as simple as that. Like, today should be a day where today should be a game that City can rest in. In terms of they should look at it and go, right, Aston Villa, we've played, Hasegawa's just played in the week, let's give her the rest to get against Aston Villa. They didn't do that because they can't afford to do that, because they're not playing well enough to rest. They haven't been strong enough. But I do agree, Hasegawa has to have a break at some point, because she can't just keep playing every single football game. And they've got Ayama, so they need to use her. The biggest criticism over the last year for City has been they didn't have a defensive midfield backup. Now they've got one, they have to use her. And I think they will in the next couple of weeks. The football fan says, what silverware do you think City should win or want to win? Any, to be completely honest. I think if you're Gareth Taylor and if you're Manchester City, they haven't won a trophy in a good, I want to say, the 22-23 season where they won the League Cup. I think that was the last time they won a trophy. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but they haven't won a trophy for a good 2 years now. I think they'll take anything. I don't think they'll win the league now. I'd be very surprised if they won the WSL. If they won the UWSL. So then you're looking at the Subway Cup or the FA Cup. If you're a City fan and if you're Gareth Taylor, you take either of those trophies. I think City will take what they can get. Obviously they're going to be ambitious and they want to win everything. But for a team that currently sit outside the top three and haven't won a trophy for 2 years, I don't think they'll be fussy about what trophy they win. They'll take whatever they can get. So it depends on the draw in the FA Cup, but I'd expect it. If they are to win a trophy, I think it'll be one of the domestic trophies, one of the domestic cups. Sorry. But yeah, Alex says silver sandwich from the Subway Cup. That would be. Imagine that is the trophy. You just get a 6 foot long sub. It's just a silver sub. That would be really good. Not sure what they put in it, but that would be intriguing. Emma says it was a 21-22 League Cup, so it's been 3 years. Wow. 3 years without a trophy for Manchester City. That's not good enough. With the squad they've got, and this is why I think there's a lot of pressure on Gareth Taylor, because to not win a trophy for 3 years with the quality they've got in this team is just not good enough. They have to win a trophy this season. But yeah, as I said, it depends on what happens in the FA Cup. The League Cup, they're going to have to work very hard to win, and they're going to have to up their performances. But yeah, I think that they'll fancy themselves to win something. They've got the quality. The problem for City right now is when you look at take the top four in the WSL, for example, on form right now, City are the worst team out of those 4. And because we're now getting to the crunch time of the season, they haven't got long to change that. Chelsea still haven't lost a game this season. Arsenal have still not lost under René Sagers, and United have lost 1 game all campaign. Those 3 sides have been brilliant, and they are in incredible form. Their morale's at an all-time high, and they're playing superbly. And suddenly, that makes City 4th favourite to win all 3 domestic trophies. And I think they're one of the sides that has the least chance of winning the Champions League. So it's really difficult. They're in a really difficult spot where, yes, they've got the quality, but as we get towards the latter stages of this season, when we get towards, I think, what you call the crunch time, where you've got when you've got all the cup finals, you've got the end of the league season, they're going to be struggling for me. But there's still time to turn it around. They have to be positive. Today they haven't played well, but Shaw is back on the bench. They've just signed Caroline. Lazel's back from injury. Hemp's not too far off. Suddenly, a couple players, and they could be right back up the sharp end. The Football Fan says, what do you think would be the final score and who will score? Well, it's a good point. Everyone in chat can get involved in this question, so everyone who's tuning in right now, make sure to say what you think the score will be at 4 time and who you think the goal scorers will be, if there are any goals. I predicted 2-1 at the start of the match, so I'm going to stick with my prediction. I think it will finish 2-1, and there'll be no more goals in this match, which wouldn't be exciting from a neutral point of view. Man City would very much take it, and I'm sticking with my prediction. I'm going to back myself. I predicted 2-1 at the start. I'm going to stick with that, and I think this game will finish 2-1. Welcome to the stream, Maiko. Sorry if I got that wrong. But welcome to the stream. City are not going to win all 3 cups. Chelsea goes around Stockholm, mate. I mean, I'm a Chelsea fan. I agree with you. Chelsea are definitely the favourites to win all 3 domestic trophies. You feel? I think Arsenal and United will have a conversation about that. But right now, obviously, Man City as well will want to prove that wrong. But I just don't see it happening right now. I agree. I think Chelsea are definitely favourites, and if they beat Arsenal tomorrow, anyone going to the bridge, make sure to say hi. Me and Jack will both be there. But yeah, that's going to be a cracking game. If Chelsea win that, then they look unstoppable, really, and it's a really worrying prospect for the rest of the league. Milan says Miedemar hat-trick 3-1. Fair enough. I can definitely see that happening. The form that Miedemar has been in the last couple of weeks, she's looked really sharp since she's come back from injury, and I would be surprised if she didn't get a 3rd goal. Delta on the stream says, them having their attacking players is a good sign, however they need Green more, because against great attacking teams they look horrible at the back. It is good they've got their attack. I think it's more, yes, they are missing Greenwood, I do agree with that, but they have got Knack, and I think it's more system-wise. They are way too open. Tactically, they're way too open in terms of they're way too aggressive, and they send both fullbacks up, which leaves them so vulnerable. But as you say, because they haven't got Greenwood, they don't get away with it, because Greenwood and Alexandria are superb at recovering. Knack isn't the best in those one-on-ones when they're up against it. So it's leaving City really vulnerable defensively. And also, what's the other lad's name? You're Harry, right? I am Harry, and the other lad is Jack. He's not here today. But he will be back after this weekend, obviously. This is our only stream this weekend, which is, unfortunately, because we are at Stamford Bridge tomorrow, so we can't stream Chelsea Arsenal, and we won't be back in time for Manchester United versus Brighton. But yeah, so only game of the weekend for us, but make sure I'm sure there'll be some updates on socials from the game tomorrow, and make sure to, if you are there and you see us, welcome to say hello. And we'll be back on Monday with our match week review. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you do get, we post 2, 3, 4 videos every single week, and we're always live every single weekend for WSL action, whether it's 1 game, whether it's 3 games. But yeah, make sure to subscribe. Plenty more content coming, and we're really, we're getting into that crunch time of the season now, so there's going to be even more stuff coming out. We've got a transfer window right now, and we're starting to get towards the domestic finals and the end of the season. So make sure to hop on board for the remainder of this campaign. and make sure to stay in the stream for the remainder of this match. The second half is about to get underway. Will Man City hold on to a much-needed victory, or can Villa work their way back into this match? It will be Aston Villa to get us underway in this second half. Chastity Grant will knock the ball back to Jordan Nobbs, and Villa are underway. CW says, Chelsea doesn't even look like going 12 months without a trophy. Yeah, and that's what winning teams do. That, it's insane. The consistency from Chelsea, especially with the changing of manager as well. It's the fact the level hasn't dropped at all is incredible. If anything, it's got better, and it's a frightening prospect for the rest of the league. Villa looking to start this half hard and fast. Hansen goes to Beijing. There's a run of Leon. I thought she was going to pick out, but she failed to. That's a good ball down the line from Pacheco, though. Hansen cuts it back, and it's in. Adriana Leon, it's 2-2. Or was it an own goal? I can't work out, but either way, it's in the back of the net, and Villa have equalised. 40 seconds into the second half, it's an instant response from Aston Villa, and Villa are level. I have no idea who's come off, but either way, it's in the back of the net. Villa will not care. It's a great ball initially out to Hansen, who does so well. Plays a 1-2 of Pacheco. It is a superb ball from Maz Pacheco to get it back to Kirsty Hansen, who's made a brilliant run inside. She's definitely onside. She cuts it back. It's Alexandri. It's an own goal from Alexandri. And I think it's Alexandri anyway, a nightmare. Absolute nightmare for the centre half. And Villa are level. I think, Alexandri's been so consistent, so good for Man City this season. Today has had a really, really poor game. And here come Aston Villa again. This is incredible. Here's Gilles Beijings. Switches the play to Leon, who can't quite bring it down. And that may go out. No, it won't, because Mayling's bust her gut to get there. And she's done well to keep it on, but she's actually kept it on for Fagino. And Fagino will run forwards now. Beats one, beats two, and then gets taken out by Jordan Nobbs. What a start to this second half. And everyone breathe. Aston Villa with an instant response in this second 45. Fagino still down here. Jordan Nobbs will go into the book. Just checking that Fagino is okay. But wow, what a start to the second half for Aston Villa. 40 seconds into the second 45. And Hansen puts a ball across the goal and Alexandri puts it in her own net. Micah says, I think Villa will come back. Well, what a prediction that is. Because not even a minute played and Villa are already back level. The football fan says, rate Gareth's signing of Caroline 1 to 10. Now, we did a video on this. So make sure if anyone does want to hear about that, then go watch that. That is out on the channel right now. But yeah, I think it's a good signing. It's a signing that City needed to bolster their attack. I think on her day, she's a good player. So yeah, I think it's a decent transfer. CW says Chelsea used to rely on 1-3 players to get all their goals. Under Bombas saw they had like 5 games with 3+ different goal scorers. Sometimes 5 different ones in a game. Yeah, think the West Ham game, 5 different players down the back of the net, and you're completely right. It's not the fact that one or two players are being really consistent. It's the fact that the whole team is playing so well. That's a ball to Grant. Alexandri's got it wrong, but Yamashita is luckily there to claim it. And again, a scare. Alexandri's been bullied today by Chastity Grant. Grant has had the better of Alexandri every single time. Alex says, can't really say how good Caroline is because don't watch NSL in Brazil enough. Well, Caroline, obviously, she had a big injury, so she missed the first half of the NWSL season. She then was back fit at the Olympics, where she started playing on the bench. She obviously, if people do remember watching the Olympics, she scored in that semi-final against Spain, where Brazil beat Spain in what was one of the weirdest games of the year. And she scored in that game, and then she was fit enough to play in like the last 4 NWSL games, but she hasn't played a game since November time when the season finished. So it will be very interesting to see how she approaches the WSL and how well she fits in. Here is Mary Fowler Fowler across to Park. Park to Uahabi. Uahabi to Fagino. But wait, it does look like Fowler and Fagino have swapped. So Fagino is now out on the left-hand side and Fowler is now back on the right-hand side, which to me makes more sense anyway. I don't get why they don't start that way round. But yeah. Michael says 3-2 Villa. Fair enough. That's a bold prediction, but with the way that Villa have started this second half, I could see it happening. The football fan said, was it deflection or not? It was an own goal. So Hansen ran to the byline. She cuts it back, and Alexandri puts it in her own net. So it was an own goal from Lara Alexandri, the football fan. Here is, Fraud. Just can't really work a chance out of it. Goes to Hasegawa. Into Miedemar. Looks to go back to Rord. Still got it though, Miedemar. Holds on to it well. Puts Beijing's on the floor. Hasegawa goes back to Uahabi. Fagino. Park. Nice flick around the corner to Hasegawa. Leon looks to win it back, but Hasegawa holds on to it. Hasegawa to Fagino. She's offside though, so she leaves it, and that'll go out for a Villa goal kick. Milan said, do you see the video Rodman made about refreshing her feed to figure out where she's going? I didn't see that video. That does sound quite interesting. Obviously, heavily rumoured with Chelsea, with Arsenal as well. It is going to be very interesting to see who picks her up. But yeah, I think a player that will be wanted by a lot of clubs in Europe. So I'll be intrigued to see who gets her. But yeah, that's it. Videos like that kind of confirm that she's. That shows though that there's competition. She has no idea where she's going. Unlikely opinion. Welcome to the stream. Says funny. Alexandri's best game this season might be against Barcelona. Yeah, I mean in that game she was obviously City played superbly, but as you say, Alexandri. I remember, was it her who cleared one off the line in the early stages and was absolutely superb. But today has been a uncharacteristically poor performance. She was bullied for the first goal, where she let Grant spin her and Grant went on to score. And then that goal there, to stick it in her own net, it's really poor. She is a top centre-half. There's a reason that Barcelona want her. She's an incredible, incredible modern centre-half. But today has an absolute shocker. And it's really not helped that when City are struggling, they've lost back-to-back games in the WSL. And they come back to this game where they're leading, and one of their best players all season, Alexandri, has had an absolute shocker. And it just doesn't feel like everything isn't going right for City at the moment. Alex, she said Rodman next 500 grand to 900 grand signing. I doubt it. Her contract is up next January. So what is expected that obviously she'll leave on a free at the end of the next WSL season, which is obviously in the winter for us European football fans. So her contract runs out in next January. So I'd expect teams will wait for that probably and then just sign her on a free. Which again is unfortunate. It's the same. It's a similar case we've seen with quite a lot of players. Where players who could potentially go for a big fee end up leaving on a free transfer. Here comes Fowler against Hansen. Hansen has had to drop into left back, by the way. Fowler cuts in, and what a goal! What a goal from Mary Fowler, and City lead again. It is another beautiful strike. This time it's Mary Fowler cutting in on her left foot, and City restore their lead. It is another wonder strike to fire City in front. They have not played very well today, but they are just scoring worldies, which is keeping them in this game. And you've got to feel for Villa, and I think the reason this comes is because what has happened is Maz Pacheco is off on the sideline. She's only just returned from injury, and she's back injured, so she's off on the touchline. Villa are still readying Paula Tomas because she hasn't come on yet. And Hansen's had to drop into left back, and it's just too easy. She lets Fowler cut inside on her left foot, but you can't put anything past it. It's another brilliant strike. And Man City today, they've not played well, but a wonder strike from Fowler and two really well-taken goals from Miedemar, and they lead in this game. They're not well-created goals, but they're absolute beauties. And now Paulo Thomas does come onto the pitch. That'll be really disappointing for Villa. The fact that, they've conceded that goal because Maz Pacheco was off the pitch injured. Obviously Paulo Thomas wasn't ready to come on because they weren't expecting to make the change. Here comes Firmino. City looking to stretch their advantage. Ball in from Uahabi. Jill Roars heads over. Another chance for Raw today that goes over. KQ went to the stream, says 3-2. Anthony says, let's go Villa. Micah says, what do you reckon on the game tomorrow? Chelsea-Arsenal? Oh, well, again, if you want to hear our thoughts, we also put a video out about that yesterday. Thank you to everyone who's watched that. A brilliant reception on that video so far, which is great to see. A lot of debate and heated comments, but that's what big games are about. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be a well-fought game. I'd expect Chelsea to come out winners, but it will definitely be a really, really close match. As you say, well-played City. The goals are well taken, I agree, but the performance hasn't been there again. It was a Turner mistake for the first goal. It was a Miedemar scored a worldie from range for the second goal, and Fowler scored a worldie from range for the third goal. For City, yes, they might win this game today, but they've not played well. It's not been a good performance, and that is the more worrying factor. Because against other teams in the league, they can't just score screamers and win the game. Ball long by Turner. It's a great ball into Grant, who again has got the better of Alexandri. Looks to find Leon, but it's rushed, but out for an Aston Villa corner. Villa are not done in this game. And as I said, City aren't playing very well. There is every chance that Villa can get another goal in this game. But what a match it's been so far. 56 minutes played, 5 goals. Absolutely brilliant football match. And it shows how, yes, Villa are putting up a good fight, but City are making this difficult for themselves because they're not playing well enough. Corner for Aston Villa. Jordan knobs over it. If this is a good delivery, Villa could cause an issue. Knobs with the ball in. Knocked away by Fowler at the near post. Really poor ball. Idon says Taylor is the problem. I think it's looking that way, isn't it? He's got to be careful. His side has to start playing better. Once Hemp, once Shaw, once Caroline's a good signing. There's every chance that they can find their form again and look a bit more dangerous up front. But I do think that tactically there are some massive problems for Gareth Taylor that he's going to have to sort out. Hansen puts the ball in, it's deflected, and it's well claimed by Yamashita. David Fraser says, imagine if Matt Caroline comes to Man City for Champions League and they end up 4th. Yeah, it's a really weird deal. I find it funny. In her first interview, when she was initially signed, her first line literally says, I've joined Man City because I want to play in the Champions League. And they could, as you're right, they could find themselves 4th. And, for her, obviously that would be a really disappointing fortune. It is kind of funny, to think that, she rejected Arsenal simply, she rejected Arsenal. That's going to be a money problem between Arsenal and City, but she's rejected Arsenal. She rejected other teams she rejected PSG because they didn't have Champions League football. But right now, obviously, City might not have it themselves, and this could put herself in a really difficult situation. And Maiko changing their prediction to go for a draw. Fair enough. That City goal has convinced you that Villa won't win this game. They can still draw. This game's got goals in it. This game is not over. Villa have shown that they will dig deep and they will fight. But City might just keep scoring screamers. Is Daly on? Yes, Rachel Daly is on the pitch for Aston Villa. She did start and she's still on there. Ardwan says we can't use Bunny Hempo as a distraction for Taylor's poor coaching. Yeah, exactly. But even today, without Miedemar and Fowler scoring absolute world-class strikes, they'd be losing this match. But again, they get away with it because they're winning. And you're right. I think that at times this season and at times over the last couple of years, Taylor's got away with it because Hemp and Shaw would have played incredibly and won City the game. But I do think with the likes of Caroline coming in, City could potentially share the weight that is currently on Shaw and Hemp. CFC Riley, welcome to the stream. Half an hour to play. Only a goal in it. You'd expect City to hold on from here, but Villa not going away easily. Nice combination play between Daly and Leon. One back by Layla Uwahabi. Yamashita just sitting on the ball. Happy to wait until a Villa player engages. Riley says it's been a fun watch so far. Villa being resilient and impressive. Yeah. And the reason this game is so close is because it's a mix. Villa, as you say, have been really strong, been really combative, and have put up a really good fight. And City just aren't at the level yet again. Are not at the level. There's been 2 shots in the whole of the second half, and that's for both teams, by the way. Oh, that's a soft free kick. Rebecca Natka's got away with one there. She's been dispossessed on the ball. Villa were in, and the referee's given a free kick. Apparently, Rachel Day's brought her down. Villa players not happy with that at all. And I'm inclined to agree with them. I don't think there's enough in that. It's fortunate for Nak because she gets caught on the ball way too easily. Kasperai to Fowler. Fowler back to Kasperai. Here come Man City. Ball across the box. Jess Park, and it's 4-2. Really nice move from Manchester City, and they get themselves a buffer. Lovely football down the right-hand side, and Jess Park is there, unmarked in the penalty area, to poke the ball home. And City get themselves a much-needed cushion in this match. Villa have thrown everything at them, have put up a really good fight, but 2 goals clear now with half an hour to go, and it expects City to hold on. Really nice play. It's a lovely little 1-2 down the right-hand side between Kasperai and Mary Fowler. So great ball in from Kasperai. And a really good finish from Jess Park. Too easy. She's unmarked. Never going to miss from there. And City finding themselves 2 goals ahead. Best passage of play for City of the game. Really tidy football. And a well-finished effort from Park. Maiko says, well played. Says Romans currently has a 200,000 a year salary. She could probably make 500 grand when her contract is up and stay in the US or make more in Europe. Definitely. She is a world-class player. She's one of the best players in the world. And yeah, she should be deserving of one of the highest contracts in the world as well because she is that kind of player. Double change coming for Aston Villa. It's not happening yet, but it will be Lucy Staniforth and Ebony Salmon who will come onto the pitch. Oh, I guess a loose one from Kasperai. Hansen nearly wins it back, but luckily Rord saves her teammate. Here is Fowler being forced backwards by Paula Thomas, and Fowler's forced to put out for a throw. Riley says City game of lacklustre performances, individual brilliant saving Taylor's blushes there. Completely agree. This game it's from Miedemar and Fowler. We've seen it before where it's been Shaw and Hemp. That double change is going to happen then now. It is Salmon and Staniforth, and making way is Adriana Leon. So Salmon will go on to that left-hand side. And Staniforth is going to come on for... I'd guess it will be Gilles Beijing's, and it will be Gilles Beijing's. Villa making a couple changes to try and get themselves back into this match. The football fans says that goal from that soft free kick. Yeah, spot on. That's a really good point, actually. And that's even more frustrating for Aston Villa. But still, it was well played. You have to give credit. It was well played from City. And Villa didn't do enough to stop the ball coming in or to mark Jess Park in the box. David Fraser says the US clubs are going to have a really up their game. LSL poaches their best in the coming year. Definitely, there's been a lot of rumours around Rodman with her contract up. There's been a lot of rumours around Sophia Smith. Obviously, Naomi Girma looks to be all but confirmed as a Chelsea player. So yeah, you're spot on. There's a lot of players who are now starting to make the moves from the US to Europe and to the WSL. But equally, the same thing's happening as well. We're seeing obviously F Perisse's looks to be going out to US, and we have seen quite a few players that are rumoured to definitely go out there. So it's definitely a competitive market between the two continents. But as you say, it does feel like it's going to be that top bracket of players that could end up coming over to Europe. Michael says, I think Villa should have kept Van Domselaar. Well, I don't think they really had a choice. Sorry, here's for Gino on the ball, forced backwards, manages to find Hasegawa. But yeah, Arsenal were happy to pay the money, and Villa were going to always take that. They bought her on they managed to bring her in on a free, and Arsenal. I want to say Arsenal paid about $200,000. So Villa were always going to take it. Really good piece of business, and I think D'Angelo has not done badly. Really struggled at Arsenal this season, like last season. Sorry, has come into Aston Villa this season and has looked a lot more comfortable. Idwan says we could use both Rodman and Smith. Is that? Sorry, I've forgotten who you support. Is it? City. Sorry. I think it's City. Do correct me if I'm wrong, Idwan. I think you're a City fan. I can't remember now. But yeah. I mean, every club in the world, potentially not Barcelona, but even Barcelona would definitely think about Smith and Rodman. They are two of the best players in the world. No side. Obviously, I know it's more money based about who can get them and what they can offer, but yeah, they're both incredible footballers. Free kick taken by Man City, headed away by Hansen, and City will recycle. Riley says it's the best for Gio France I've seen so far. I think she's looked sharper. I do. She's done better at getting that shot away. In terms of, I see a lot from Virginia where she gets on the ball and doesn't really do anything with it, but she's looked much more direct, which I think has been crucial today. It's really helped City to get up the pitch. Alex says WSL clubs buy NWSL players, and meanwhile Wolfsburg buy Freya from the A-League. Yeah, I do think that. Obviously, I think there's more. Obviously, Europe is an attractive prospect to everyone, but obviously the WSL is probably a more attractive league than the other leagues. But I think the Frauen Bundesliga is a close second, though. I do think it is in terms of a player joining, in terms of the competitiveness and there's more options, I think, in the Frauen Bundesliga than there is in the other leagues in Europe. Here is Uahabi coming down the left-hand side, defended well by Hansen. It's put out for a City corner. Maiko says Chelsea fan best team in the world at the moment. I think Barcelona have something to say about that, and I think it's close. It's definitely close between all three of Barcelona, Lyon and Chelsea. But for me, I think Barcelona right now are still there. But we'll wait and see. Big couple of months coming up in the Champions League. A good opportunity for Chelsea to prove they are there now. Ball in from Fowler from this corner. Headed away by Daly. Out to Gino. Here's Hasegawa. Broad. Park. Better from City. Park again. It's really good. Beats Paula Thomas. Jess Park looks to get the ball in. Big tackle from Hansen. And Thomas can clear. Rice says, besides who wouldn't want to leave the US next 4 years, sign them all up. You're right. It definitely, it definitely could be a factor that plays on a lot of players' minds. I think there'll be quite a few players who will be keen to leave while, and view this opportunity as a better chance than any to go and join one of Europe's big leagues. CW says you go to PSG if you want a payday and not expect to win really. Go to Germany to build up your value in Europe. I think that's harsh on PSG. I think it's this season they've struck because they haven't got Champions League. It has looked like that, and obviously we watched them play. I don't think they're. I definitely think they can take the challenge to Lyon. Obviously, they only won the league. When you compare it to the other leagues, PSG won the league 3 years ago. Which isn't terrible when you compare it to Liga F. When you compare it to WSL. So I definitely think there is a good, healthy competition there. PSG have proven they can beat and take Lyon on when it comes to trophies. Yamashita. 20 minutes to play. That fourth goal, I think, has kind of killed any chance that Aston Villa do get back into this game. But a honourable performance in Sean Goater's last game, and there'll be a lot of positives that Natalia Arroyo will be looking forward to joining up with the squad and taking charge of the team from next week. Villa win it back. Grant into Taylor. One back though by City, and here comes Jess Park. Park forced backwards to Knack. Alexandri, not been her best game in a City shirt by far. But it's really good from Kasperai. Sends Jill Ward on down the right-hand side. Ward across the goal. Turned away well by Taylor. Fowler has a shot. It's deflected. Miedemar will have a go. She was offside anyway, and it was saved. Doesn't matter either way. Ray says that the Premier League does have the weird playoff. Yeah, it does. Yeah, you're right. They do have a playoff for the top four. So, I mean, in terms of obviously, I think PSG and Lyon will probably take it. I'm more meaning in terms of obviously PSG got knocked out at the very start of the season. The fact that they didn't even, the fact that PSG didn't make the proper tournament this campaign was an absolute underachievement and really poor. But they're not a bad team, and they've got some really good players in that 11. And obviously, losing Gatoto at the end of the season isn't great. Long ball over top, looking for Grant, slightly overhit, and we'll run through to Yamashita. Yamashita says she was onside. Yeah, I did realise that. Didn't matter anyway because D'Angelo saved it, but it turned out that Miedemar was played on there. So that was a genuine opportunity for her to get a hat-trick. Not taken, though. Still awaiting that third goal. A lot of people today already have predicted that Viviana Miedemar would pick up a hat-trick. Yet to do so far, but still 17 minutes to play in this match. Here is Kirstine Kasperai. Fowler down the line to Rord. Good defending from Taylor, though. Goes back to D'Angelo, who's happy to let the ball run. Eventually will fire it, looking to find Hansen. Can't quite find her. For Gino Uahabi. Back to Rebecca Knack, who goes all the way back to her goalkeeper. Alexandri. Inside to Rord. Ward goes back to Knack. Here's Jess Park. Knack back on it once again. Neymar says, frustrating seeing City winning. We better win tomorrow. I'm guessing that is that from a Chelsea point of view? I assume. But yeah, big game for Chelsea. To Chelsea Arsenal, absolutely huge game at Stamford Bridge. But yeah, if Chelsea win, the title looks to be all but theirs. But if Arsenal win, then suddenly it opens up the door for a potential slip up for the Blues. So a huge game has a lot of potential outcomes and has a lot riding on that result. David says, I'll be interested to see. Oh, sorry, because really good defending that from Turner. Just managed to hold on to it under pressure from Rord and Miedemar. David said, I'll be interested who Chelsea keeps out of its centre-backs now. Germer is coming, as in they have a huge squad. Yeah, obviously, It looks like Buchanan and Bright will both re-sign. As you say, Chelsea look to have Germa, also Natalie Bjorn, also Mpome, and then coming back from loan will be Brooke Aspin. So that would be 6 centre half. So you're right, Chelsea are going to have to. Also, they're going to have to work. Yeah, you're right. They're going to have to decide who they want really out of those 6 because you don't need 6 centre halves. Micah says 6-2 City now, I reckon. Fair enough. Alex says they keep Auto Sour because Buchanan AC. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, you're spot on. And, well, big moment for Manchester City. 75 minutes played. 2 players entering the field. First of all, it will be for Gino to be replaced by Caroline for her Manchester City debut. And it looks to be Khadija Shaw coming on as well. So Caroline and Shaw onto the pitch for Manchester City. We'll await to see, though. Will Miedemar come off despite the fact she's on a hat-trick? Yes, she will. So Miedemar to be replaced. No hat-trick today then for Viviana Miedemar. But returning to the pitch in a Manchester City shirt is Khadija Shaw. Huge moment for City's season this. Shaw back on the pitch after injury. And Caroline Nicoli making her debut. Let's see how these 2 players get on then. For 15 minutes. Two players that will sure want to get back to the swing of things. Caroline with a point to prove. Parker coming on for Aston Villa as well to replace Sarah Mailing, who I think had a really good game, to give her credit. Riley points out Newen as well. The football fans says, when is Greenwood coming back? I think she's out for the majority of the season now. Yeah, I think so. Someone can correct me on that. CW says, even if we lose, still up 4 points, it's not even that worrying compared to other seasons. It's not, but it means that Chelsea don't have that buffer. In terms of it would be 4 points, but if Chelsea were to lose again, then suddenly it's 1 point. So it puts a lot of things. I think it's more of that if Chelsea win, they look comfortable rather than if they lose, they don't. I think that's more. Arsenal need to win to stop Chelsea running away with it, is the main thing tomorrow. Yes. Annie, welcome to the stream. Says, why did they take Viv off? It is a bizarre one to me. Obviously, I know they want to bring Khadija Shaw on, but surely you'd just drop Miedemar into midfield so that she can stay on and get a hat-trick. Because she's played really, really well today, and she deserved to get a 3rd goal. But she will not complete the hat-trick. Shame that. Ryzen said, looking forward to being at the bridge tomorrow, going to the big game. Yes, we will also be there, so no stream, unfortunately. But, well, we can't turn down an opportunity to go watch what is going to be one of the biggest games of the WSL season so far. Ryzen said, I'll take a draw tomorrow. A draw's not a terrible result for Chelsea. That's the thing. If Chelsea avoid defeat, I think it's a decent result. But Bon Pastor demands perfection, and she will want to win that game. But yeah, very interesting. Also, we know great to have Khadija Shaw back for City. Intrigued to see Caroline. I think Caroline's touched the ball yet, but so she's out on the left hand side. Is Caroline with Fowler on this right hand side? Micah says 3-1 Chelsea. Iron says Taylor is a villain, should have taken off Park. It is a little harsh, isn't it? You never want to bring off a player on a hat trick. And you're right. I think it's a bit bizarre. You're 4-2 up. Miedemar's on a hat trick. It's an opportunity to. I think you need to rest Jess Park more than you need to rest Miedemar, to be completely honest. But alas, I think the more important thing for City is that Khadija Shaw's back on the football pitch. 59 goals in 67 games is absolutely absurd. What a striker. What a player. And he says, up the Arsenal. Welcome. And it's a bold statement. I think there's a lot of people in here who are Chelsea fans. But either way, it's going to be a really good game tomorrow. Shaw plays in Caroline. Caroline down the left-hand side. She's offside. That is a shame. But yeah. CW says Nguyen was supposed to be the successor of Bright, but looks like it'll be Germa instead. Yeah. I think I feel for Nguyen's injuries have kind of ruined her chance, really, for me, of getting into the Chelsea fold. She just can't stay fit, and it's cost her massively. Because she's, I think this season she probably would have got minutes. Under Bonpastor, we've seen Brighton with Buchanan and Pobe both getting injured. I think we definitely would have seen Nguyen if she wasn't injured. So it's a big shame. Ryan says, what number Germa takes is going to be interesting. That will be interesting. Yeah, it's not something I've really thought about, but I'm intrigued to see what number she will take. Villa coming forward again. Here's Hansen. Hansen fires it into Daly. Look, turned into a shot actually, and Yamashita did well to parry it away. And Kasparai will stop it going for a corner. 10 minutes to play here at Villa Park. City in control. And now here comes Jill Rord. Rord. Only her and Shaw for company. Rord goes alone. Really good from Jill Rord, and a big tackle that from Patton to block Rord's shot. Riley says Bunny will end up like Kane if she doesn't win things. Season move or City need to hire a real win in the dugout. I get what you mean. And that is why I think Taylor's in trouble, because you can't have players like Khadija Shaw, you can't have players like Lauren Hemp who aren't winning anything. It's as simple as that. Mike says, is Sam Kerr ever going to come back? Yes, Sam Kerr is expected to be. She's back in team training, so she is expected. Next few weeks, next month, Sam Kerr is expected back in February. So it does look like Sam Kerr will be returning to Chelsea pretty soon. 44 will be cold. I mean, it would suit her. I don't really know. I hadn't really thought. I couldn't even tell you Chelsea's. Listen, I think I struggle a bit with Chelsea's squad numbers. I don't, especially because if I'm not thinking about buying a shirt and you think about who's on the back, I struggle to think who's got what. To be completely honest. Knack, Harby. Has that stayed on the pitch? Nope. And it will be a Villa throw. Lot long to go now in this match. It looks like City will hold on. And it's a big win. They've lost back-to-back games in the league. They went behind in this game. They then took the lead at 2-1. Villa then levelled it back up at 2-2. But in the last 10-15 minutes, City just managed to build themselves an advantage. And they look to be holding on to that. And obviously, as I said earlier, Man United have to play Brighton. Arsenal have to play Chelsea. So there's a real good chance that two teams in the top five, at least two teams out of the top five will drop points. And that is why it's big that City are winning today. Another double change coming for Manchester City. This is Laura Blinkilder, I believe. So Jill Rord is coming off. And I believe we are finally going to see Yui Hasegawa get a rest. I know, miracles do happen, because it is an opportunity for new signing Ayama to come in and play that midfield role. I think this might be the first time I've ever seen Yui Hasegawa subbed off the football pitch. This is incredible. So Jill Rord and Yui Hasegawa replaced by Oyama and Blinkilder, and a second Manchester City debut of this game, and it is going to Oyama. Signed this January to be that Hasegawa backup. Let's see what she's got in the remaining 7 minutes here at Villa Park. Oh, finally, Yui. Yes. Man City fans can probably celebrate that like a goal. Yui Hasegawa has been subbed off the football pitch before the end of the 90 minutes. And they've actually got a defensive midfielder to replace her with and not just put someone else there. It is a huge moment in Man City's history. Villa coming forwards though. Here is Daly. Daly to Nobbs. Nobbs puts the ball in. It's in the middle of everyone. Yamashita doesn't deal with it convincingly. Alexandri smashes it out of the pitch. Patton. Taylor. Back to Patton. Ball down the line looking for Hansen. Knack does really well to deal with it though, and then wins a goal kick. Really smart defending that from Rebecca Knack. Uses her strength and then fires it into Hansen to win a goal kick. Yeah, just watching back that Yamashita got a bit of fortune there, just punching that ball away. Probably could have claimed it if she wanted to. Yeah, City goal kick now. They are looking to they're just seeing this out. They need this 3 points. They're no silly business. Don't concede another goal. Keep it as it is. It has not been a very good performance from City, but they look to have got the job done. Alexandri dispossessed again, this time by Daly, but it does go out for a City throw. I said major. Risers, can't believe I was alive to witness this moment after 1,000 consecutive matches. It's incredible. I feel honoured that I have been able to, that you guys have chosen to witness such a monumental moment with me. That Yui Hasegawa has finally been replaced by someone. And that there is City have a genuine defensive midfield backup. That means Yui Hasegawa will not play thousands upon thousands of minutes every single season and risk picking up injury after injury. Only took 2 or 3 years for City to realise that. Yamashita sends it out long. Caroline can't quite keep it in. Villa throw. Credit to Aston Villa. They have kept going for the whole 90. They've given Man City a really good game here. And Sean Gota, it was short, it was sweet, but it was a really strong interim period, which has set Aston Villa up really nicely for the rest of the season. And they will look to a new era at the football club as after this game, Sean Gota will officially be replaced by Natalia Arroyo, who was announced on Thursday. Too soon for her to take the touchline today. But Villa will look to the future of the manager who has got a decent pedigree. Not anything incredible, but runners up, as managed Sociedad to runners up in the Liga F and Copa del Rey runners up as well across her 4-year spell. So a manager who clearly is very capable of making her team play very good football and challenge some of the best teams on their day. So yeah, credit to Aston Villa credit to Sean Gota for what he's done over the last couple of weeks, and I think Aston Villa have made a very good appointment, and I think they could end this second half of the season very, very well. Daly in a foot race with Knack. Knack kicks it and swings at the air. Luckily managed to recover though. Again, Daly blocks it with Harvey's clearance out for a City throw. Neymar says the game over now. At least it was an same match. Jess Park and Hasegawa balled out again. They were okay. They were alright. I think it was the reason they've won this game is because of moments of magic from Miedemar and Fowler. And without that, I really do think that City wouldn't have won this match. If Miedemar hadn't found the top corner from 20 yards and if Fowler hadn't done the same in the second half, then I do think they would have lost this game. Paulo Thomas gets a shot away there, blocked well by Fowler. But yeah, a bit of a let-off for City. Wasn't an incredible performance. Here's Khadija Shaw. Big tackle from Taylor. Still with Shaw, though. Thomas now wins it back off her. Right, he says, just saw it was a bit of season. Good performances, not great results. Yeah. But to be fair to them today, I think overall, they've looked better in the recent weeks. And today, they were never expected to get something from this game. The fact they led at Man City, the fact they went behind and then pulled it back again, shows they've got character. And that is absolutely huge. I think that when you're down in the bottom half, when you've had a really tough start to the season, when you've got a squad that have positivity, that have belief, and they have a bit of fight in them, that's really good. And I think Natalia Arroyo will look forward to working with this side, because this Villa side is very handy. They've got some top quality players. They're overall, I think they're a really strong team that we could definitely see climb up the table in this second half of the season. And Tottenham, I don't really care who climbs that table. Tottenham can't stay 6th. They should be on 2 points this season the way they've played. More than that, obviously, but yeah, when you compare how Villa and Tottenham have played this season, I genuinely don't understand the positions they're in. Neymar says Bunny Shaw dropping a diabolical biblical stinker today. Yeah. Oh, she's been on the pitch 9 minutes after returning 3 months from injury, and she's been ravaged. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that she wasn't thrown in from the start. It's good for City to manage her minutes, bring her back in slowly. Good for Caroline to get on the pitch. Good for Yama to get on the pitch. A range of City debutants today, and good to see some players back. That is a foul, apparently, from Chastity Grant on Alexandri. Bit of a let-off. But we are now into the 90th minute, and we will see how many minutes added on in a minute. Riley, I think Neymar was joking. More of a light-hearted comment to joke to say that Ramirez and Kerr are clear. Obviously, Shaw hasn't dropped a stinker at all. She's been on the pitch for 9 minutes. 4 minutes additional time. But I don't know, Spurs so lucky. Yeah, honestly, they have been one of... I mean, they won last week. They had one shot. And they won the game. It's incredible. They will get found out, though. I mean, they lost to West Ham in the midweek in the Subway League Cup. That was a result that you'd expect based on the way that Tottenham have played. But yeah, I think that for Tottenham they will get found out. They can't get away with playing as bad as they have been and not drop down the table. I'm trying to think who they've got this weekend. This isn't very good. I should probably know this. Who are Tottenham playing? Have they got West Ham back to back? Surely not. Yeah, Shaw hold big tackle. That's a great tackle from Taylor. Skips past Casper as well, but Shaw gets back in doing the defensive work. Sorry, I'm just finding out who Tottenham are playing. It's really annoying me. Palace, of course. Huge game. And that is a big game for both sides. Because for Tottenham need a win. And they haven't played very well. And Palace, well, they desperately need points. Kalia Shaw's down here, by the way. So Parker makes a tackle, just catches the back of Shaw's ankle. She looks to be okay. She's back up. She's all right. No need to panic, City fans. She's all right. Now says Leicester completely outplayed them. Very unlucky to lose that. Yeah, spot on. If Leicester could score a goal, then they would have probably won that game 4 or 5-0. And it's a City versus Arsenal who is winning. Oh, that's another really difficult game. But again, obviously we'll probably have a preview out for that next week, and we are live for it as well. So make sure to join us next weekend for that. Bruce Davidson, well under the string, says, with Bunny back, does Fowler fit into the starting team? I think so. I think Fowler will stay out on the right-hand side, Shaw through the middle, and then it will be either Fagino or Caroline out on the left-hand side. And then Miedemar will probably drop back to midfield. Would be my best bet. Oh, and Villa have got a goal back here. But the flag is up. I did think that looked Marv's offside. It was a cross put in. Daly was on her own, completely unmarked. But it was ruled offside. Yeah, ball put in. Yeah, Daly's offside. It's the right decision. It's a good finish, but it won't count. Idol says Chris Palace and Everton. Big run for Tottenham then. But that's the thing. This is my worry for Tottenham, is that if the way they're playing, they could lose both those games. And then suddenly they're in massive trouble, because then they've got a horrible run where they're not playing very well. Idol says Fowler's supposed to be starting 11. Yeah, I think Fowler's played pretty well. Goal for her today. Goal and assist for her today. 2 assists against Man United in the WSL last week. She's looked really sharp, and one of the players that I think has looked all right when Man City have been playing poorly. Right, says Villa Park, nice place to play football. It seems great pitch. Well, I hope so. It's a Premier League ground. And that is full time. Man City will take the 3 points from Villa Park. Not their best performance, not their most complete. Had to count on individual quality once again, but they do prevail. And it's a big 3 points. 2 losses in a row in the WSL, but they do not make it 3. Class from Viviana Miedemar and Mary Fowler, the catalysts as to why City have won this game. Aston Villa huffed and puffed. They took the lead early on through Chastity Grant. They leveled it up at 2-2, 40 seconds into the second half. But Man City found the quality and some wonderful strikes from Fowler and Miedemar, 2 goal of the month contenders already, fire themselves to the victory, and they put themselves back into second. It is momentarily, but with Arsenal travelling to Chelsea tomorrow and Manchester United playing host to Brighton, it looks to be that could be a big win for City as they climb the WSL table once again. Still questions for this City side though. They will really pour at the back. Alexandri had a shocker and definitely not out of the woods yet. Did not play well enough, but 2 wonder strikes put them right back in the game and they ended up winning it. But still, real questions for Gareth Taylor and this City side. The pressure's on. They do win this game, but work to do. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in today. It's been a brilliant stream. A brilliant game of football. As I said, this is our only stream of the weekend, unfortunately, because we are at Stamford Bridge tomorrow. But make sure to subscribe. Hit that like button, whatever you need to do, because we will be back on Monday with the match week review. But yeah, thank you to everyone who's watching. If you haven't already, as I said, hit that subscribe button. We are closing in now on 2,500 subscribers. It would be brilliant to hit that, as soon as possible. So if you are tuning in right now and you haven't subscribed, it would mean a lot, and it's worth it. We're producing so much content, and as the season goes on, as we get into the latter stages, it's going to be coming thick and fast, and we're going to be keeping up with all the action and the news that the WSL and women's football has to offer. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in today. Brilliant to have you all here. It's been a really good game of football. We will be back next weekend for, I believe we have a triple up next Sunday of 3 TV games. So that's going to be huge. We've got videos coming out in the week. But yeah, that is all from me today. Thank you all very much for watching, and we will see you next time.